This series of tutorials serves two main purposes: an easier and quicker style to draw elements and supernatural features compared to realism, because webcomic episodes already take a long amount of time already on their own, but at the same time it must be recognizable to the reader what element it is. In this video I'll be focusing on fire. When drawing elements, it's good to know what properties they have in real life before stylizing them in your own art style. So for fire, I'll be starting off by addressing the real properties of it. The color of fire is directly affected by temperature. Red is the weakest type, ranging from 500 degrees to 1000 degrees. The higher the temperature, the stronger and vibrant the red is. This goes the same for the other colors. Next is orange, which goes about 1100 degrees to 1200 degrees. In the 1300 degree to the 1500 degree range are white flames. Then finally the hottest are blue or blue based flames that go from 2500 degrees to 3000 degrees. This is only generally speaking, and there are exceptions. In typical appearance, a flame includes blue or dark orange at the base, which is the least hot, whitish orange in the middle with a reddish outline, moderately hot. The hottest part of the flame is invisible to the eyes. In this tutorial, I'll only be showing you a typical flame that includes color ranges from orange to red. For a flame that comes from a singular source like a fireplace, it has a water drop shape. First, we can start off with the sketch to shape the fire. Make a circle for the base, then double the space above the circle, and there we note the ending point. Make wavy lines from either side of the circle, which should meet at that point. To finalize the shape, think of distorted randomized jigsaw piece tabs with rounded edges, interlocked with the edges of the flame. You can do this a little bit for the base of the fire too. Make these tabs alternate rather than linear to one another. Add on several smaller free flames floating from the tips of the flame. You can draw them in the shape of commas or like a quarter rest in music. Next is the coloring stage. Color over the sketch with the color in between the hues of red and orange. Then with a low saturated orange, color in a small version of the same flame inside, about 2/3 of the size. Slice up this smaller flame into random edged parts, the top, middle, and bottom, the base being the largest. Then slice up 2 or 3 more times around the edges. Sharpen majority of the part edges. On a new layer, clip it onto the flame layer. Put it on an add filter, set it to a low opacity like 45, select gradient, foreground to transparent, select a saturated yellow and place it from bottom up. Finally are the touch-ups. Airbrush on a new low opacity layer lightly around the flame with orange. And you can add smoke, which is airbrushed grey-white around the top of the flame. You can include embers if the fire is burning upon a source like wood. They can be red-orange with airbrushed orange. You can also include subtle liner around the base, but avoid heavy liner as it won't look good due to that fire is a gas or plasma state, not solid. For a large flame, like a bushfire or building on fire, same rules, but this time start off with multiple bases and note multiple ending points. Imagine the singular flame method I just showed, but many of those mush together at the edges. Because it is a much larger scale, make sure to add more random smaller flames around it. For supernatural powers, you first have to have a good idea of how movement affects the object visually. As I don't have a background in animation, I'll be explaining this in a very non-technical way. I'll show you an example with the most common type. I'll show you an example with someone charging mid-throwing a fireball. For this fireball, we first sketch a circle as a base to indicate where the source of fire is coming from. In this case, it's the character's hand. As for the ending point of the flame, it will be the previous position the source was a moment before. In this case, the character was running and his hands were up here, so seconds before, his hand, the source of fire, was here. Another example where to put the ending point is if someone's taking a swing with the sword as lit with fire. Then the ending point will be the start of that swing where the sword was. Now draw a line from the base circle to the ending point to show the line of movement. If his hand was previously there and now here, we would make the line curved because it's unnatural if it was straight. But if the movement was straight, like a fire gun shot or someone stabbed someone straight through, then it would be a straight line. Like the simple flame I've shown you before, draw wavy lines from either side of the circle which meet at the end point while following the line of movement. Next, imagine the jigsaw puzzle edges I've shown you and how they would look instead if they move fast. They would appear a lot sharper and thinner. So following that rule, place where the jigsaw puzzle tabs would be usually if it was still, then stretch them out according to the line of movement. Draw your final sketch over this and make sure the outer and smaller edges are sharper. Then add smaller sharp flames appearing at edges. For the coloring, it is the same as mentioned from step 4 to 6 in the basic flame tutorial. I'll put a timestamp in the comments. That's all for fire. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything you'd like to add or critique on in this tutorial. Subscribe to keep updated for the following parts of this series and see you later.